Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old activist who is bringing awareness to climate changes that are occurring throughout the world. And one of the biggest contributors to the climate changes and global warming right now is tourism. And more specifically, over-tourism. Over-tourism, a term that was coined back in 2012 but became really popular in 2017 when local residents of these popular destinations were outraged by the amount of people who were descending upon their backyards in their cities and basically destroying it and making it really unlivable for them, in the sense of, just to go to the local store, to go down to their beach, to go and walk in their park, or just to go to a restaurant became an arduous task because of the amount of people that they had to get through. And so they became outraged and started appealing to their government to make changes. What are some of the solutions that we can do to minimize over-tourism and hopefully reduce the effects that it's having on our climate overall? Some of the destinations that have already started making changes and restrictions to their tourists are places like Venice, Iceland, Mount Everest, Bali, Barcelona, just to name a few. They've already started implementing practices through their government by showing that they want to step up and make changes. One of the restrictions that they are looking at right now is reducing the amount of places that people can stay while they are visiting the city. Airbnb is taking a hard hit for this because it has opened up the door for many of the local residents themselves to offer their place of residence in some cases, or they're buying up properties and renting them out to tourists. And therefore, tourists have more options when they come into town of places to stay. One of the other solutions is to be a responsible tourist. When you go in and visit these cities, respect the property. Don't leave your garbage. Don't leave your footprint. And don't demoralize certain monuments. Be respectful of their culture and of the people themselves. When you go to certain tourist spots, they are overrun by some really loud and obnoxious, disrespectful, vulgar people who have no regard whatsoever for the people that are around them, for the properties that they're at. And I see it all the time when I'm traveling, and it is disgraceful. And I can't imagine being a local there and having to put up with that kind of noise pollution and put up with their garbage. And that's what I mean, is just taking responsibility when you are a tourist and saying, you know what, let me treat this the exact same way that I would like somebody to treat my property, to treat my hometown if they happen to be visiting here. That's all I'm saying. Other solutions that they have come up with are raising the prices of tickets, or limiting the amount of tourists that can go to a certain destination. For instance, the gorilla trekking. That's another huge tourist attraction in Rwanda. Only 5 visitors and 5 permits are issued per day, and the ticket is $500 to $750. But it does help to limit the amount of people who are trekking through their jungles just to get a glimpse of a gorilla. Another solution could be just to stay longer in one area. Well, what happens when you do that is that you start to contribute to their economy and helping the local people themselves. And that's huge. That's great. It's probably one of the benefits that I talked about before in my previous video when I talked about the benefits of traveling. And that really helps to build a relationship with the tourist and the local people so that they can work together in harmony. One of the other things that you can do is not go to some of the familiar destinations. Try going to something that's kind of off the beaten path. There are a lot of wondrous places out there, and chances are the locals at those destinations would open their arms and welcome you, and you're going to find a lot more treasures. You're not going to be having to crawl over other tourists, and you'll probably enjoy yourself a lot more. So I do want to leave you with those valid solutions for the next time that you're traveling. And by all means, continue to build your bucket list, continue to enjoy the experiences that you have when you do travel, but do them in a responsible way. And that's it for me for today. Thank you so much for being here. It's been great. Love chatting with you guys. And you know what? If this is your first time visiting this channel, please consider subscribing by hitting the subscribe button that's down below, as well as the bell that will let you know that I've just uploaded a new video. I'm here every single week bringing you a different story, thought, tip on travel. Hey, you know what? This is Christmas week, and I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to each and every one of you, and all the very best for you and your family. Talk to you after the holidays, and we will see you then. Bye-bye. Adios. Until we meet again. Ta-ta.